Concerned and shocked. Just a few of the words the state's top prosecutor is using to describe how a district attorney runs her office. For months, KRQE Investigates has been digging into the dysfunction the McKinley County community and law enforcement say their DA has created, allowing criminals off the hook. Investigative reporter Ann Perrette recently uncovered a case that caught the Attorney General's attention, and now the AG says he's not just working to get that DA removed from office, he is also working to clean up the mess he says she has made.
Is frankly totally unacceptable and shocking.
The New Mexico Attorney General in disbelief over how McKinley County's district attorney handles criminal cases, concerned about the impact on victims and their families.
There is nothing more difficult for them than losing a loved one or having someone in their family who's been the victim of a violent crime and expecting justice and have it not happen.
AG Raul Torres is talking about this case.
Hey.
He learned about from our KRQE investigation that aired last week.
All right, man. Hey, this guy's been heavily intoxicated. He can't follow directions.
This man, according to police reports, blew 3 times the legal limit on a breathalyzer test after crashing his car twice.
So I had to grab his belt, and I pulled him out of the car, and that's when she was able to get up.
And forcibly raping his passenger. But he was let off by the district attorney, Bernadine Martin. We discovered Martin dismissed the man's case, quote, for reason conflict for district attorney's office. The conflict?
He went to school with my kids. He's a friend of my kids, and that's a conflict. Yeah. I've declared it when I first saw it. I didn't even read the file. I don't know the details.
DA Martin initially told me she sent the case to a different county's DA to prosecute. Then she changed her story, writing in an email, quote, I didn't say this went to a DA's office. It didn't.
I mean, the idea that someone would be sexually assaulted on the side of the road and that case would be dismissed because the DA is familiar with that defendant and not have it referred to someone else is absolutely inexcusable.
His office just stepped in to pick up that case. And we brought another one to the AG's attention too. A murder from December 2022 that DA Martin also dismissed for, quote, a conflict of interest. His office is also reopening that case.
And right now, honestly, I cannot tell you exactly how many cases fall into this category, but we are going to find out, we're going to get to the bottom of it, and we're going to dedicate the resources we need to try and do what we can to deliver justice.
These cases are now more evidence, AG Torres says, that the New Mexico Department of Justice will use to try to get Martin removed from her elected office. The NMDOJ filed a petition to the state Supreme Court last week after a 9-week investigation conducted at the governor's request.
Quite honestly, I think this revelation will really change the character of the kinds of factors that I think the court is going to have to weigh in determining whether or not she's fit for office.
Already, the AG submitted evidence to the Supreme Court. Bernadine Martin created a hostile work environment, relied on expensive contract attorneys because she couldn't keep assistant prosecutors, misused taxpayer dollars, practiced as a private attorney while DA, which is against the law, and failed to properly work with law enforcement to get cases through the courts.
But we've taken a big step. I mean, I acknowledge the fact that what we are attempting to do in the Supreme Court is an extraordinary action.
AG Torres says her incompetence couldn't be ignored. His investigators concluded Martin is, quote, unfit for the office. She is egregiously disserving the community that elected her.
If someone is not prepared to handle the management component of the position, they can quickly get overwhelmed. And then the loss of key personnel sort of compounds that process, and pretty soon someone's in a position where they're in over their head. And I think frankly, that's what has happened here.
Knowing she'd been struggling, AG Torres says he and other county DAs and community members tried to help and support Martin. But Torres says she's repeatedly rejected that, choosing to fight against them in the courts instead.
It's this notion of, rather than acknowledging that there's a problem and asking for help, that there's been an intransigence there.
Fighting for herself rather than her community.
You really are taking on a sacred oath to keep people safe and to do right and to do justice. And it's a very difficult and demanding thing, but it's not for everyone.
AG Torres says his investigative team couldn't have known about the DA's mishandling of specific cases without us or anyone else bringing them to his department's attention, because the NMDOJ doesn't have the authority to access Martin's detailed case records. But he now wants to review every case Martin dismissed for a, quote, conflict of interest. So he'll be asking the state Supreme Court to grant him that access. Back to you.
And thank you. Bernadine Martin has not yet filed a response to the petition, and once she does, we expect the Supreme Court will hold a hearing to determine if she will be removed as McKinley County's district attorney.